Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back into Crypto Mainly. My name's Lee. Thanks ever so much, guys, liking and subscribing. Had a nice sort of uptick of 6 subscribers just from the video from yesterday. So thanks ever so much, guys. I really appreciate that. The channel is very new, as you know, guys. I do feel like it's important I mention that because even I myself, I look at if I look at something new on YouTube or on Twitter and things, I do tend to look at the number of subscribers and things to get a gauge of to whether the channel is any good or not. But as you know, guys, most of the people that are already subscribers know me very well and know that the channel is very new. But obviously, new people to the channel may sort of be judging how good the content will be, judging by the number of subscribers. So please don't do that, guys. Please like, subscribe, turn on the bell. You can always turn it off and unsubscribe later if you don't like the content that I provide. But hopefully that won't happen. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Do follow me over on Twitter as well at Crypto Mainly. There's lots going to be happening, particularly from the 1st of June, and I'd like you all to be a part of that. So don't miss out, guys. Make sure you pay attention. There's lots going to be happening. So jumping straight into the content. So we were looking at this trade yesterday. I mentioned whilst we were down here that I entered into this trade position. I'll just show you this little clip from yesterday. So this is a trade which I opened. We broke this local high here on Bitcoin, so I opened a small position here with the stop loss just below the support there. So we've got a falling wedge. We've broken out. We've also broke the local high. Okay, so a nice successful trade there. As I said, on the video yesterday, my exit, my take profit was a little bit on the conservative side, and I did say that the measured move from the breakout of this falling wedge was actually the top of the range there at 30,600. So possibly some of you that are a little bit more brave than I am held out, and I hope that was a nice trade for you. So just jumping on, what's going to happen next? I think what we'll be looking at now, if I just get rid of this this trade now, obviously that's closed. We've got an area of sort of key interest here, which is at which is this purple dotted line here, which is at 29,840. I suspect what will happen is the price will likely come back down. Now we've had this pump and sort of retest this area here. We've got a resistance there, so we may get a little bounce here and then possibly come down, and then we'll find hopefully we'll find support there, and then the direction will be established from there. So let me just make that a bit clearer for you. Okay, so then obviously the direction will be established from this point as to whether we sort of continue up or whether we start to break down. We don't want to see breaking down from here, guys. If we do, then we're in the realms of looking to the downside again. So what we're looking for is this support here to hold nicely and for us to get a bounce from there, and hopefully then we can watch to see whether we get these continuation move higher. There are a few things which are looking which have changed actually. Again, the last couple of days have sort of flipped and flopped around in terms of what the charts are showing me. But stick with me, guys. We'll get there. We've got lots to look forward to. I think we've got this chart which we've been following for a while, where the price is still inside this blue triangle. We've got the bounce now, and we're coming up to the level of resistance there. You can see this green dotted line, incidentally, that I've put onto the chart here is actually that measures at 31,820. So 31,820 is this green dotted line. Do pay attention to that, guys. That is a weekly level. If we get above 31,820 and we come back down and retest it, so we bounce back up, come back down and retest and start to find support there, that will be significant, and that will actually be starting to look like a real reversal from this downtrend at that point. So do watch out for that, guys. 31,820 is the number to watch. If we have a look at Dixie, you can see that we did reach new highs, and it was looking like it's sort of going to explode higher. But in actual fact, it seems to have topped out, and we've come back down below some of the key resistances that we broke through. So it is looking like that this is actually going to be a fake out up here. This is starting to look like a fake out. Let's hope that is the case. If that does roll over, we will see some nice action from traditional markets, which obviously will then bleed into crypto markets. So for those of you that don't know, The DXY is the US dollar index. It's basically a comparison of the US dollar against a basket of other currencies, in terms of a sort of a comparison of performance. But you generally get an inverse effect in the markets. If the Dixie is showing strength, it means that it's stronger against the basket of the other currencies, which means that people tend to sell their stocks and their crypto and things like that into the dollar, which shows dollar strength, obviously, because from a charting perspective, people selling cryptocurrencies and stocks into dollar looks like that the dollar is actually being purchased. Hence the reason you get the positive move as you would if a coin was being purchased. So that's how that works. Looking at the dominance side of things, sort of hovering around in this area here. I'm sort of clutching at at the sort of the depths of opium here, but you can see that this high here is the dotted line. This at the moment is still a lower high from these highs here. So, I mean, there's no doubt to say that this does look strong, and it does look like it's going to continue higher up into the 50% mark. But I can't help but wonder that the market dynamic which created this, what with the Luna situation, the UST, and the Luna collapse, that has, that happened right at a key point on this chart. It was almost happened, I think it was the 9th of May that it started, and you can see, I mean, from a strategic point of view, if that was planned and a coordinated attack, which is what's being suggested, then it was right at the right time as far as dominance is concerned to create this, which could end up, being something which we look back as one big, huge sort of fake, not necessarily a fake out, but the market dynamic was created for this, to create this effect, to perhaps cause people to come out of their altcoins, purposely before things, do sort of, turn around, and this could come down. And everybody would expect perhaps a retest, and maybe not. Maybe it will, it will continue lower. The reason looking from a charting point of view, you should really be, by trading what you see on the charts. And if it wasn't for the Luna situation, then I would, simply be saying that this is going to continue on higher. We're going to get between the 50, to 55, maybe even 60%, on this move. But this was not a normal. This was almost a black swan event which has created this. And I still, in the back of my mind, looking at the way that Bitcoin is starting to start to break bullish. Some of you will remember actually that if I just highlight that line, that little, let me just bring that to life a little bit more. Some of you will remember that I put this purple line in there, and I said that was going to be the projected path for Bitcoin. So when we came down, I said that we would probably get a bounce, come back down, test the lows, and then get this bounce higher up into the top, upper resistance lines. And sure enough, I mean, the pump is almost exactly where the purple line, where I drew the purple line, is now. There'll be some luck rather than judgment in there, of course. But technical analysis is fantastic. I find it fascinating every day, and I enjoy I enjoy sharing what I've learned over the years with you guys, because I hope that you'll be able to pick up some things, maybe a couple of hints and tricks along the way. I know that most of you that are subscribers to the channel at the moment are capable and intelligent people yourself, and traders yourself, and I know that that some of the things that I show maybe sort of sucking eggs for you, but I'm hoping that some people on the channel will be new and that they'll be able to pick up some things from me, and maybe make a difference to their own trading. So just looking at the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, excuse my scribble, I'm just going to get rid of that actually, but this is on the video yesterday I mentioned this, guys. I've been following this chart for so long now that I've got myself sort of tuned into this is gospel and this is what's going to be happening. But you'll remember that I said that from time to time it's good practice to start with a new, fresh, clean chart, and that's what I did yesterday, which is here. So this is the same chart, Ethereum Bitcoin, without the drawings and things. I mean, if you look back in time, I can show you that I've been following this chart for a long time. Going back all the way back to sort of September 2000, 2019, and actually prior to that as well. So I've been in this space quite a long time, and I've been watching this chart for a long period of time. And I do, I fell into the trap of perhaps, when you see significant change like that, that's when I usually would like to redraw a chart just to see whether what's changed. And when you get a significant change like this, it's a good time to put a fresh pair of eyes on it, which I did. And if I just show you something which I thought was quite interesting, I draw these sort of upper, mid, and lower ranges. I talked about yesterday on the video that this point here, if we look at the Bitcoin chart, this was here. Okay, this is the point when I changed my mind that this was a Wyckoff, reaccumulation pattern. When we got all the way down here, this is where I kind of lost a little bit of hope along with the rest of the market, and that's actually here. So yeah, which interestingly is the point that we are here, and we are bouncing from that point. So I thought what was interesting, guys, is if we look at this original chart, even if we go by this as being our master chart, if you like, if we get some sideways movement from Bitcoin, from this Ethereum Bitcoin valuation, if we get some sideways action, like this, and then we end up back up to the top of this, which is quite possible. We've had this, a sort of a fast accelerated move to the downside. You would expect to get a bounce and a bearish retest at the very least of the break point of breakdown. And as you can see, if we look along here, there's significant support here. We bounced from significant support. We could see something like this where we get an area where we're going sideways for a while, and then we get perhaps a retest of this region here, and then rolling over and coming down. And then possibly rolling over. And then possibly rolling over here. But in terms of time scale, this could well be the summer alt season. This area here, this sort of zone, if you like, if we get movement inside this area for long enough, this could be what creates our temporary summer alt season, which I've been talking about for a while now, whilst Bitcoin goes back up to test the bull market support band at the 200 moving day average, and we get some nice action out of the alts, whilst Bitcoin comes back up into this zone here. This target zone incidentally has moved down slightly. Let me just, if we go to a weekly time frame and I add the bull market support band, we can see actually that because the price has continued down, the bull market support band now is between 38 and 38,300. So that this target zone, if you like, has got a lot thinner and also needs to be moved down. So our target zone is moving down. The bull market support band now is between 30,000, 30,300. So it's the purple and blue numbers over here is the bull market support band. So you've got the blue and purple and the green shaded area, which is creating the bull market support band there. We'll move that bullish divergence line down a little bit. So that would be the target zone. And if we go back to the daily, we look at where the 200 moving average is. The 200 moving average is currently, it's the orange line, 42,804, and that's coming down rapidly as well. And for those of you that have been following me from over the last sort of month and a half, you'll know that what I was expecting was to see us actually come up over the top of the bull market support band and maybe bounce along as the 200 moving average is going to come down and start to flatten off. Maybe we see something where we pop up above the 200 moving average, and then we get the move down lower and we start to see lower moves back into the back end of the year, and then and see those between 22 and 24,000. To see those levels, I think, between sort of September, October, November time, and then once we've sort of we've seen those lows, we've capitulated for a while. Then from the back end of this year, then we'll obviously start to see that will be it won't be obviously anywhere near as steep as that, but we'll get a gradual then incline as we approach the halving which is currently scheduled for sort of May 2024. And that would make sense with you know, the analysis that I've done on the halving cycles and things, which is in a separate video. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to actually the next couple of months, guys, because you know, although this chart did sort of convince me that once we dropped down so suddenly that the alts were going to sort of start to sell off, sort of start to bleed into Bitcoin. I mean, even if this were to just fall further down, what that would mean is we could still get the pump from Bitcoin. We could still get positive action from Bitcoin. But what that would mean is that it's likely that that pump is being fueled by altcoins being sold into Bitcoin, which obviously will be bad for the altcoins, and would mean that we get you know, a Bitcoin season, shall we say, where Bitcoin continues up higher. But even, you know, it's a bit, I think, you know, looking at the charts, I think the summary of what I'm sort of trying to say, and a little bit clumsily today, I'm afraid to say, guys, so apologies for that. But I think what we're going to see, okay, is we are going to see the prices start to break out, and you know, over, you know, it won't be in a straight line, of course. There will be some, you know, it will take time for us to sort of start to get back above this bull market support band. Just turn that off, guys. Yeah, so what I think we'll start to see is we'll break out of this pattern here. We'll start to, obviously it won't go in a straight line, guys, so we'll see something along the lines of you know, where we're coming up, and it'll take a while for us to get here and get into this range. But once we are here, this is what I think is going to happen. We're going to be trapped between this, you know, the bull market support band. I do think that we'll get above the bull market support band, which will get everybody's hopes up, and we may even punch through the 200 moving average once or twice. But please be prepared, guys, because once we are in this zone here, okay, above the bull market support band, and we're in this zone here, this is when everybody, all the like influencers, everybody on, you know, social media and things, will all be super bullish. Okay, I would be very, very careful when we're in this zone, particularly when we're around the 200 moving day average. The 200 moving average. I'd be very, very careful there. So yeah, so this is a daily time frame. Watch the 200 moving average. That will be the point that we really need to break above the 200 moving average and hold above it. You know, if we look back in time, we will see, you know, in this region here that we actually did break above the 200 moving average. We bounced a few times, and we actually lost the 200 moving average, and then found support and broke back through again. So you know, guys, be prepared for any scenario, because I say this time and time again, and I sincerely mean it. The one thing I have learned over the last, you know, few years is that literally anything can happen. I mean, nobody would have expected that to have happened with Luna, with such a successful project, and it changed the entire market dynamic. So please, guys, you know, be prepared for either scenario. When we come up here, you know, be prepared if we do get the collapse with, you know, stop losses and things, and risk management, and also be prepared that, you know, that there could be a turnaround, and you know, and we could see that, you know, you get an accelerated move back up through the 200 moving average and continue higher, because you know, again, looking at the chart, looking at this chart, you know, and as I've said before, another thing which I say regularly is trade what you see on the charts. This chart is telling me that this is a huge descending wedge. You've got several touch points. So you've got you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points on the top side. 1, 2, 3 touches on the bottom side. This pattern is very valid. If we break above that dotted line, then the measured move from this falling wedge will be a new all-time high. And that's what I think people will be talking about if we do get above the bull market support band. And the measured move of this does suggest a new all-time high. So if we was to strictly trade what we see on the charts, that's what we'd be looking for. I think that's what everybody would be touting. But once we get around this area, we are due for, looking at the market and the way that the market works in terms of the 4-year cycle, we are due for new lows at the end of this year between September, October, November. And that's what I'll be preparing for, guys. So make your own decisions, guys. Do your own research, of course. I'm just sharing my thoughts. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. And thank you ever so much for watching once again, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to sign off there and leave it at that. And I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Take care, guys. Always remember, take profits and buy something real. Sincerely appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, guys. Thank you.